Hello everyone, welcome to Support and Resistance Secrets. Okay, so what is support? A support is a price point where price bounce from it. As you can see, the price is bouncing and having the likelihood of price not going below it. As you can see, the price is not going below it and is bouncing in this line, on the line. So when you draw this horizontal line, you consider it as a support line. So usually the price tends to respect support lines without breaking and going down below it, as you can see over here. Okay, so let's see what's next. So retail traders buy at support. So retail traders believe that support lines will hold and they take buy entries, meaning they usually will try to enter into buy trades in these price points where the price is bouncing. However, smart money will view these support lines as liquidity. So that will be discussed in a future video. So don't worry about liquidity right now. Okay, so let's see what's next. Okay, so what is resistance? A resistance is a price point where the price bounces from it. As you can see, the price comes and bounces from it, and having the likelihood of the price not going up and above it. So when you draw a line, you call this as a resistance line. The price tends to respect the resistance line. As you can see, the price tend to respect, meaning it's not going above and beyond it, it's respecting without going above it. Okay, so then retail traders will sell at resistance. So the retail traders believe the resistance will hold and they take sell entries in these points over here where the price is bouncing. However, the smart money will view these resistance lines as liquidity. Then again, don't worry about liquidity now. That will be discussed in a future video. Okay, let's see what's next. Okay, so support can be turned into resistance. What does that mean? So when the price breaks through a support line, so there are instances where chances where the price will break through a support line, break down, and in that case, that support line can start to act as a resistance. So usually retail traders will start to sell after a breakout. So as you can see, some retail traders will start to sell over here once again because they think it's a breakout and they think now the price will go down. And in some cases that works. Okay, so let's see what's next. Okay, then resistance can be turned into support. So this, you can see the price is respecting the resistance over here, respecting. However, there can be instances where the price will break through a resistance lines. We call it as a breakout. And once a breakout happens, there is a chance now the price tend to support that line. So the earlier resistance line can now turn into a support line. So some retail traders consider it as a breakout and will buy in these points where when the price comes back to the earlier resistance line because now they consider it as a support line. Okay, let's see what's next. Right, now the importance of using higher time frame SNR lines. And the secret to why SNR is not working for some traders. Now, what you have to keep in mind is that it's very important that you can draw support and resistance on any time frame. Like You can draw it on monthly or weekly or daily charts, or you can draw them on 1 hour, like say 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minute, 5 minute, 2 minutes. You can draw it on any time frame. However, it's very important that you use the higher time frame support and resistance lines because they tend to be more reliable. So when it comes to making your trade decisions, it's advisable and it's important that you draw the support and resistance on monthly, weekly and daily charts and consider those as your support and resistance. 4 hour is also okay, however, these are the most important ones. So, now the secret to why support and resistance is not working for some traders, that's because they sometimes use lower time frame support and resistance lines. Now the problem of these lower time frame support and resistance lines is they tend to be less reliable, meaning they work sometimes and they may not work on many instances, meaning the price may not respect these lower time frame support and resistance lines in many instances compared to higher time frame support and resistance. So it's better not to use the lower time frame support and resistance, and it's better to use higher time frame support and resistance lines when you make your trade decisions. The lower time frame SNL support and resistance lines are 1 hour, 15 minute or anything below that. So what you have to keep in mind is even sometimes higher time frame support and resistance lines may not be respected. However, compared to lower time frames, the higher time frame support and resistance lines are respected more than the lower time frame support and resistance lines. So this is the secret why support and resistance is not working for some traders, because they draw them in both higher time frame and lower time frame, and they use lower time frames also for their major trade decisions. So now you know that you better use the higher time frame for major trade decisions. Okay, so let's see what's next. The next important thing is these support and resistance lines are zones and they are not lines. What does that mean? So as you can see, when you draw, let's say this is a resistance line. So when you draw that line, you can see on some instances the price will go above it, like break the resistance and come back. See, it goes slightly above it over here and come back. Over here also same, and over here also same, over here also same. So what that means is when you draw a support line or resistance line, in this case the resistance line, keep in mind that you have to give some buffer for the price to go slightly up or down around the support and resistance line. So when you mark it with, let's say, with this ash color box, then you call that as your resistance zone. So you use the resistance zone and but not the resistance line. So keep that in mind, which is very important. Okay, let's see what's next. So let's go into some example demonstrations. Okay, so we are in the daily chart in trading view, and if you look at the click on the trend line, and if you look at this where the price has bounced from this, so if you, because there's a wick here, so usually you could look at take the body, so you click, okay, so you click the trend line from the toolbox and click near the body, click, and if you just drag it from the mouse, the line is not straight, drawn, not drawn. So you click the shift key from the keyboard, so then the line is drawn straight. So when you draw this is an example for a daily resistance line where you can see the price has respected that over there. So there is a possibility for a sell entry, and some retail traders use this alone and take some sell entries. Okay, let's look at another example. Okay, this is another example in the daily chart. So you can see the price is respecting this area. So if you click the trend line and press the shift key and draw, you can see this acts as a support line. So some retail traders will enter into buy entries over these areas. They take buy trades. Okay, let's look at another example. Okay, so this is the daily chart again. You can see over here, see this line is acting as a resistance line. So multiple times it's acting as resistance. So the retail traders can take a sell entry here and a sell entry and make profits. However, you can see after some time the resistance can be broken. So this is a breakout happening over here. So once the breakout happens, you can see now that resistance line over here is now acting as a support line. See, the price is respecting and the price is now going up. It's taking this as a support line. Then you can see this part, that's what we said, these are not lines, these are zones. So you have to give some buffer allowance for the price to go up or down slightly. However, you can see this resistance line is now acting as a support. Okay, let's look at another example. Okay, so this is another example in the daily chart over here. So this price line is acting as support. So some retail traders can buy here, will buy here, and they will buy here as well. However, after a while, the support can be broken down. So this is a breakout as we mentioned, and once the breakout happens, then this support line now will act as a resistance. Okay, let's look what's next. Okay, so this is a 1 hour chart where you can see this price point is acting as a resistance. And let's see another one. And over here, you can see this line is acting as support. So some sell entries can be made in these places and some buy entries can be done in these places. Now, however, this is because this is a 1 hour chart, these 1 hour support and resistance lines are not considered to be major support and resistance lines to take major trade decisions, but these are minor SNR lines, and you will see in future lessons we will show you how to use the minor lines as well within a trade. Okay, let's see what's next. So as mentioned, the support and resistance lines are shown. So if you take the box rectangle tool, when you draw a support resistance line, you have to give some allowance for the price to go up or down. So we call this as a support and resistance zone. You will see in future lessons we will use them for trade decisions. So this area is you mark it like this, so that you mark it as a support and resistance zone. So it's not a line, it's a zone, it's an area. And after a while you can see this resistance line can be broken. So then it's a breakout happening over here. Okay, let's see what's next. So similar to that, you can draw SNR lines, support and resistance lines in 15-minute, 5-minute as well. So the lower level ones are used within while you are in a trade. So in future lessons, we will show you how to use the major support and resistance lines and the minor lower time frame support and resistance lines as well. Okay, let's see what's next. So you learn the support and resistance secrets in this video. You learn about support and resistance, and you learn that retail traders buy at support whereas retail traders sell at resistance. And you learn instances where support is turned into resistance, resistance is turned into support. And you learn the importance of using higher time frame support and resistance lines such as monthly, weekly, daily, and that lower time frame support and resistance lines are less reliable, and support and resistance lines are zones, not lines. Okay, so in future lessons we will show you how to use this information So the most important thing is you learn the secret of support and resistance, which is that the importance of using higher time frame support and resistance. And that's why for many traders, support and resistance is not working because they use lower time frame support and resistance for their major trade decisions. That part we will demonstrate in future lessons with practical trade examples. So that is the end of the section, and we will see you in the next section. Take care.